dear friends of freedom. Today I translated an entire episode from the channel Fooled Russian, which is run by a very talented political satirist, Vitaly Shevtsov. Unfortunately, outside of his channel, there is not much known about this person. However, he is very talented in choosing and commenting on content that perfectly displays the extent of your average fooled Russian. In this episode, he is talking about an absolutely ridiculous piece of Russian propaganda, which was broadcasted on the biggest state channel, Russia 1. Let's take a look. Those of you who had to leave their jobs to come here, don't worry. We will protect your jobs and you will be able to return back to work once you return from the mission. And did you find a solution with their employers in case their men will return in pieces or in plastic bags? Those of you who have kids, don't worry. We will make sure that your kids get a place in kindergarten or school or university. We will make sure that your kids will go to school and will go through the lessons of patriotic education. We will make sure that your kids will follow in your footsteps. So while your kids are young, let them work and pay taxes, and once they grow old, just like you guys, we'll just send them to the front line, so we don't have to pay them their pension. The recruitment for the elite battalion is ongoing throughout the whole region, including with the help of mobile contract service selection points. And now you should better take a seat, otherwise you might fall down from laughing when you see this elite battalion. A couple of hours away from Moscow in the Nizhegorozhskaya Oblast, a field camp has been set up. Although, judging by its sheer magnitude, it's difficult to call it a simple field camp. The air-conditioned tents are stuffed with a lot of equipment. There's never enough money for schools, hospitals, or kindergartens in Russia. People have to wait and suffer. But money for military field camps can always be found. Control posts, modern military equipment, and of course, soldiers lined up on the central square. This is how the Khabarovsk battalion meets their governor. Some of them continue their military service, which they started in the east. Some of them are reservists and remember their military duty. Some just arrived and are still in their civilian clothes. The battalion is still being formed. It seems like the elite battalion is being formed out of random civilians from the streets. The man on the right looks like he just drove out with the bicycle to get some milk. Then he probably bumped into the mobile recruitment point, asked what's going on, and they just took him. Amongst the soldiers, there are also a lot of young people. We, as the Generation Z, Z, you get it right, we are just right now writing history. Generation Z is making history. But if you go on this graveyard and look at all those graves, you will see that history was already made there. But Nikita Pomytkin thinks that he is special. He believes that he is born to make history. The 31st Guards Air Assault Brigade of the Russian airborne troops that was buried on this graveyard, they were just not experienced enough. They were just not trained enough, since they were just elite soldiers from the airborne forces. How could they ever compete with Nikita Pomytkin, who prepares to make history? These volunteers, who come from basically all parts of the region, are already now making history. Some of those soldiers have quite a sad look on their faces. Do they maybe already suspect something? Andrei Petukhov from Khabarovsk region decided to change his career path. At my job, I have exhausted the possibilities of further career growth, but here the career growth opportunities are much higher. The security guard of the local supermarket, Andrei Petukhov, has reached the limits of his career growth opportunities. He understood that it's time to move forward. This salary is as high as my last salary and can even grow higher as I climb up the career ladder. Plus, I also have the chance to receive an apartment. So all in all, you just have to go to Ukraine, to a neighboring country, to kill civilians there, so you can get an apartment in your motherland. Apart from all the benefits which are provided by the Ministry of Defense, the state governor has also prepared a huge package of all sorts of benefits for everyone who enlists voluntarily. The cheap scam seems to work. You see that he immediately became excited. The Ministry of Defense of the United Kingdom, Ben Wallace, said in an interview with Washington Post, that during an interview with Russian Defense Minister Shoigu, he told him that Russians are able to suffer as no other nation in the whole world.